We're recording. Are we live? It's working.
All
Amazing.
right.
Yay. Okay, so Steph is actually gonna kind of lead the beginning of the call and then she's gonna pass it off to me. But I'm excited. Thank you guys for coming. And Steph, if you guys could just make sure to mute yourselves so there's nothing
Okay, I'll watch it for
crazy noise in the background. Oh, I can do it. There you go.
Perfect. There. Okay. Hello. I am Stephanie. I am on Chelsea's team. If you don't know who I am a silver leader. I did take a massive step back when I got pregnant with my daughter and had my daughter. And now the last like 2 months, I've come back full force. And I'm super excited. And I have discovered a whole new world to online income while I've been off, and it's really opened my eyes and opened my social media for Amare. And every time I send Chelsea everything that I find, she's like, "Girl, you have to do a training on this." And then Kalea took off on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, but I want my hands on Instagram too." So her and I kind of connected. I told her about the monetization on Facebook. She caught me up on Instagram, and we realized that it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's just two completely different platforms, but the way that you run it is literally the exact same way. Um, so, if you don't know what Facebook monetization is, if you're in Canada, I am in Canada, you can fully earn everything on Facebook. You have access to earn an entire paycheck on Facebook. Um, you have to be public and you have to be in professional mode. I will touch if you're very iffy on those two things. But you have to have a minimum of 500 followers. And I mean, to get there, it's not that hard. And then once you do get there, you have to apply, but everybody gets accepted. And then you will start earning a paycheck and you'll figure out slowly how it works for you. But I will go over how to maximize the pay on this monetization platform. And again, everybody is available to this. So here in Canada, I have a full access to the entire monetization platform. If you've never heard of the monetization here in Canada, drop a one. If you're already on it, drop a two. And if you're excited to learn about it and wanting to drop on it, drop a three. Shauna already in with the three. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I had no idea that this was a thing. Like a year ago, I had been sent a message that I got approved for monetization and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, whatever, not that big of a deal. I guess it was more than a year ago. It was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And I just accepted it and I was like, whatever. Um, so it's not based off of friends, it's based off of followers. You have to have 500 followers and you have to be in public mode and professional mode. So I'll go over that really quickly on how to get into that, but it's all based off of following. Um, 500 for 30 days straight. Some people are getting accepted into the monetization program before the 30 days if you're proving yourself to Facebook. So you're constantly showing up, you're consistent, your views are going from like 20,000 to 500,000 in a matter of like days. Kaleo is one of them. I think you got approved in like less than a week. Yeah. And it was just crazy because, and I told her, I said, just stay consistent, be on top of your posting, do this, do this, do this, everything that we're going to go over. And she was accepted like right away. Um, so let me go over everything and then we're going to flip it over to Kalea and then we'll leave room at the end for questions. And then if you do have any questions after all of that, my inbox is a wide open space. Anybody is welcome to come join my inbox and ask your questions and pick my brain. But when you switch over to public mode, some people don't automatically get the professional mode. So I'm hoping you guys can see my phone now that I'm on my iPad, which is so annoying, but okay. When you switch over to public mode, you're going to see on the three dots beside your name and your settings and all that, there's the three dots. Is everybody able to see that? You're going to click on the three dots and you're going to switch over to professional mode. Can y'all see that? It looks like a little arrow. It might not pop up right away. For some reason, sometimes it takes like a solid 24, 48 hours for the Facebook system to recognize that you've switched over to public mode. And then you can switch over to professional mode. Some people, it happens right away. I don't know why this happens. It's just the way that it's been for a lot of people that I've helped out. Now, I know that some people are very, especially if you're in private mode and you're very private about your life and everything else, I understand that some people are very hesitant to go into public mode. This is where it's kind of up to you what you want to do. I'm not here telling you what to do, but this is why I have two Facebooks. I have my own personal page and there's literally 75 people on it. Like there's nobody on my private page. It is strictly family and there's maybe a handful of very, very close friends. And that's because I post my kids on that page. I do not post my kids' face publicly on my public page, and that's just a boundary and a preference that I have chosen in my career, is that I just don't want their faces publicly. I had a reel go viral that Haley's like body is in, and over 250,000 people saw it, and I was just like, I'm glad her face is not in that. Like, and that's just a preference for me. I don't judge people who post their family, their kids. Like, that's, again, it's your business. You do what you want to do. It's your family. This is my family and this is how I'm running it. But you are more than welcome to have two Facebooks. Facebook allows you to, and so does Instagram, so does everything else. So if you want to separate that life, then you're more than welcome to. On top of that being said, this is your workspace, okay? I am not showing up to my husband's work and breathing down his back and telling him how to do his job. He's not showing up to my work and breathing down my back and telling me how to do my job. If somebody is showing up to your work and breathing down your back and telling you how to do your job or judging you based off of what you're doing, create that boundary. I have had the conversation so many times with people that I know that have sat at my own dinner table, that this is my work. This is where I work. This is where I put an income in my bank account, to put food in the fridge, to put food on the table for my kids. This is not something that I utilize for fun. This is something that pays my bills. And you're allowed to create that boundary that if people are judging you, especially if you know them, this is your job. You're allowed to remove them. You're allowed to tell them that you still have access to me. You're still more than welcome to call me. You're still more than welcome to come over for dinner, but this is my work. So don't show up to my work and belittle me at my job, because they're not going to do it when you work somewhere else. If you're a teacher, or I don't know, you work in HR or whatever, they're not showing up there. So why are they showing up here? Don't give them that access, right? And I know a lot of people have a hard time with it because it's social media and this is technically what it's for. But you have to remember that this is a career for us. This is a job for us. This is somewhere that's going to pay our bills. And you're allowed to create boundaries here, just like you would create boundaries if it was not your career or not your job. And if you weren't posting business related things, there's certain things that you still wouldn't post, right? It's just what it is. And you're allowed to have that. And in the same token, on top of all of that, a lot of people have a hard time with spouses. And I never really had an issue with my husband, but there is certain things that he thinks should never be on social media. He is not a social media guy. He has Facebook, he has Instagram. He does not use them. He doesn't like things. He doesn't comment on things. He doesn't post things. Like, his is completely clear, and he's just on it for the sake of being on it and existing on the platforms. But he had a boundary and he was like, this is what I don't want. And I had to respect that. And it's okay for your spouse to lay boundaries because they're going to do it when you go to a job. If you're a teacher or whatever, I'm going to use teacher as an example because you have to come home and do report cards and everything else. And I'm not a teacher. I don't know why I'm using a teacher, but you know what I mean? You come home and you have things to do outside of your job, and your spouse might be like, hey, instead of doing it then, can you do it then? Or can you do this instead of this? Like, you create boundaries for your job. You can create boundaries here too. And if there is a very gray area where you're both like, it's a discussion that you and your spouse have to have. And it's okay to have those discussions, especially in this type of career, because you're going to have those types of discussion when you're in a different career. It doesn't matter what you do, what with yourself. It doesn't matter if you decide to go to an 8 to a 5 or a night shift or a shift job. You have to have those boundary conversations on what's okay with your family and what's not okay with your family. And you have to find that gray area and you have to discuss that gray area. And it's the exact same thing here. It's just a little bit different for us because we do post a lot of things very publicly. Okay. So, all of that being said, it's essentially what you're comfortable with, what your, hold on, I'm getting camera notifications. Okay. Where was I want to just really, really, really capitalize on the boundaries because I feel like a lot of people, that's what they struggle with. And I want you to realize that you don't have to post everything on social media to gain a following. But you do have to somewhat put yourself out there because you have to build the trust and you do have to build the community and you do have to build relationships in order for people to trust you. And I think Beck did a training on this a couple of weeks ago. It's 2025. People aren't just hopping on social media and purchasing something that they see in their news feed right away. You really have to build those relationships. And the thing that I absolutely love about this monetization and adding it into Amare is that you're going to be building relationships with this monetization because you're going to want both aspects. You're going to want the Amare aspect of it and you're going to want the monetization aspect of it. And the only way it works for both is if you're building the relationships, getting in people's inboxes, communicating with people, talking with people, and doing the work. It is a lot of work, but it's also easy work. It doesn't take so much time out of your day and everything else. But you're going to want to connect your Instagram to your Facebook if you have not already. Make sure everything that you are posting on Instagram is immediately loaded to your Facebook as well. Your stories, your posts, your reels, because everything you post on Instagram automatically goes over to your Facebook and everything can be monetized that is cross-posted. So all of the reels, all of the posts, all of the stories, everything can be monetized even if it was posted over on Instagram. Monetized being paid. So the way that I do it is that I can't believe how many people didn't know that you can't interchange them. Like, so many people don't know that, and it's so easy. It's so simple. It's literally like 3 buttons and you connect the two and it's a game changer. And the thing that I love about it the most too is that you can schedule posts on Instagram and you can schedule posts on Facebook, and you can utilize both of them in order to maximize the monetization program. And when you're maximizing the monetization program and you're constantly showing up and you're constantly posting and you're constantly on your news feed and other people's news feed, they're going to start recognizing your name. They're going to start realizing who you are. It doesn't have to be all Amare. It can be silly little things. What's your favorite color? Drop a picture of your animal. People love to talk about themselves. When somebody says, hey, post a picture of your fur baby, it's the first thing I do. I immediately post my fur baby because they're the only faces that I show on social media. So like I immediately post them, right? People want to talk about themselves, so ask questions about themselves. It's so easy to come up with silly little posts to get people commenting, reacting, and everything else. Actually, I saw a really good one this afternoon, and I put it in my queue for tomorrow. Real tree or artificial tree, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a good one. So I scheduled it for tomorrow. So on Facebook, it's super super easy to post these. So you're literally just going to go to a post. You're going to come up with a random post. I'm just typing a bunch of letters, numbers. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me turn. Okay, so just a bunch of random letters. You're going to post it like normal. You're just going to hit next. And a list is going to show up. The very second option is schedule. And you're going to schedule. And then you just click and find a time to post it. So I'm going to post it for the future. I'm going to hit save. You can change the date on it too and everything. It does not have to be for today. It can be for tomorrow. It can be a week from now, whatever. Save. And then you're going to hit back. And then you can hit schedule. And it's going to enter into your queue. A lot of people get discouraged right away and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't come up with 10 different posts. I can't come up with, whatever. But when you're going about your day and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to post this. Oh my gosh, I need to post this. Oh my gosh, I should post this. Or oh my gosh, I should turn this into a post. Do that. Do exactly that. And it doesn't matter if you have 10 ideas in a matter of like 5 minutes. Go schedule it. So I have a post for every hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I was doing every hour, but I just found that it was too much for me to keep up with because of the amount of interaction that I was getting on. And you should be replying and liking and reacting to every single comment that is on your posts. So I started getting pretty big and I started getting 30, 40, 50 comments on a lot of my posts, and it was just way too much for me to keep up with. So I started backing off a little and I post about every hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. Sometimes I post in between. My son is a class comedian and says the most ridiculous things, and I'll quickly pop on and post something that he says, but sometimes I'll schedule what he says for whenever my next cue is. Does it make a difference or does it have to be? No, it can be all on Instagram. So everything that's posted on Instagram is automatically going to be over to Facebook. Okay. The thing too that I love about scheduling is that over on Instagram now too, you can, and I didn't know this until a couple of weeks ago when Kalea told me, you can schedule reels on Instagram and it's the exact same thing. You just go in and schedule. There's a little option for schedule later. And I just make sure that between my reels that are being posted on Instagram and my Facebook posts, that there's something every hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. So if I am posting something at 8 o'clock tonight and I know that I have a reel at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be like, oh, just kidding. I have a reel coming out on Facebook at 8. So I'm going to save it for like 9:30ish, 10 o'clock and schedule it for then. Yes, there is a different app that you can schedule stories. I think Shannon said that it's in the Meta app. I don't use that. I don't know anything about scheduling stories. Most of my stories are just in like the live moment time. But I mean, if it works for you, utilize it, right? And then you're not worrying about posting something, okay? So make sure what I do is that I make sure I have a business post a day. I make sure that I have a product post a day, and all of my other posts in between are just random things. They're like simple and silly things. They're appreciative posts. When you start getting a lot of followers, you have to make them feel like they're appreciated there. And I make sure at least once every 2-3 days, I'm really shouting out some of my followers and saying that I appreciate them and that I love how much they're here to support me. And since I've been scheduling all my posts, it's left so much time for me to hop on Facebook and actually use it to reach out to my following. So I can comment back to people that have commented to me. I can reply to their stories and build a connection. I can connect with people on Facebook instead of sitting here for 5 minutes being like, oh my God, what am I supposed to post? Because you will get ahead of yourself. You will start to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to post this and schedule it. Oh my gosh, I'm going to post this and schedule it. And now I'm already on to Wednesday. Some of the things that I'm coming up with tonight are going to be posted Wednesday because I'm already that far ahead of myself. And it does take time. Remember, this is my chapter 2 months. This is your new beginning. This is your entry into your chapter book, right? So don't compare your chapter book to my chapter book. And of course, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. But I schedule times throughout the day, and I literally put a timer, and I do 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes, depending on where I'm at in my day. And I go through and I comment, I interact, I do all of the things. I share my posts to groups. We'll go over that in a second. And I just make sure that I'm really, really focused on what I'm supposed to be doing and not just doom scrolling. My doom scrolling is at nighttime when I'm chilling out and doing my own thing. But I also have a purpose to my doom scroll, and we'll go over that. But Facebook now has this new thing, and I absolutely love it. So you now have a news feed, which everybody gets so annoyed because you have all these random people and random pages that you don't follow and all these ads, and you're like, how am I supposed to interact with my friends and my following when all of these random things are popping up? Does anybody else get this? Drop a 1 in the chat. Do you get all these random things that drive you insane and you're like, these aren't even my followers? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna fix that. So now Facebook has this little friend emoji at the bottom. Okay. You're just gonna click on it, and it's gonna bring you to this news feed of just your friends. No, nothing else is going to be on there. No ads, no groups that you don't follow, nothing. It's just strictly your friends. Okay. So when I am making sure that I'm interacting with my friends, this is where I'm going. I'm not going to my news feed because I don't want to interact with people that are not on my friend list or people that aren't following me. I want to make sure that I'm interacting with people that are following me. And then it's the same thing with the stories. I didn't know that there was a difference between stories. So if you go up to the top of this feed, when you go up to these stories, there's people that you don't even follow within these stories. Again, you have to go over to your friends and you have to interact with the stories up here. And these are all your friends and all of your followers and everything else. So these are the people I can touch in this, but yeah. And these are the people that you're interacting with. These are the people that you really want on your page. You really want them to see them. And if you're interacting with them and being social with them, they're going to see your stuff. Okay. The other way that I maximize my time, 2 to 3 minutes doesn't seem like a long time. And if you're sitting there typing and texting and everything else, you're going to get, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. I am a major voice to text person. I sit here all day long, voice to text, everything. So, for example, this little girl is looking hella cute in this dress, and I'm literally going to like it, comment, that's such a cute dress. And I'm gonna post it. And it takes 2 seconds. I'm not sitting there typing it out. It took literally 2 seconds in front of you guys. I didn't have to like and then hit send. I'm voice to texting everything. All of my messages, all of my comments, anything that I can voice to text is getting voice to text because I don't have time to sit here and type out 500,000 messages to 500,000 comments on my posts, right? And it's the same thing with replying. If I go back to my stories or if I go back to my posts and somebody has commented on my post and they wrote like a lengthy comment and I feel like I need to write a lengthy comment back because I want to build that relationship, it's so much easier to sit here and voice to text it than sit here and type it all out because that's time consuming, right? And now your 2 to 3 minute timer is up and you've replied to like 6 comments. So if you're in the availability to use that aspect, use it. Okay, joining groups. I know a lot of people have a hard time with this because they're like, I don't know what group to join or I don't know what to do. Or Kalea didn't even know there was such thing as groups and niches and whatever else. And the thing that I absolutely love the most about groups is that whatever groups that I'm in doesn't mean that you're going to be in them. So here in Amare, just because I'm building relationships and connecting with people with Bernese Mountain Dogs doesn't mean that you're going to be in groups and connecting with people that have Bernese Mountain Dogs because you probably don't even know what a Bernese Mountain Dog looks like. You probably have never owned one. You've probably never even seen one in real life. You know what I mean? So why are you going to join Bernese Mountain Dog groups when you don't have one? I do. So I'm joining Bernese Mountain Dog groups. I have 2 October babies. So I'm joining the October 2022 page and the October 2024 baby page. And I am a part of 2 under 2. Now I'm a part of graduated to 2 under 3 groups. I'm a part of local groups. I joined this group recently and I think it's absolutely hilarious and that Dave also finds it entertaining. But I'm connecting with women and it's a local group. I had no idea it was a thing. And it's called Muskoka, Are We Dating the Same Guy? Didn't even know that these were such groups, okay? And you can join these groups. Yes, best group. You join these groups and you interact and just get to know people and build trust with people, and they're the most random things. And Dave gets a good kick out of it too when I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. And it's not like sharing to be like, oh my gosh, this guy has a million girlfriends, but it's like, oh my gosh, look at this. You know what I mean? Like it's not a judgmental look at this, but anyways, I had no idea that even groups like that existed. There are groups for everything. So if you can think of it and if you have it within your home, join it. I told Kalea like sourdough groups because she's huge into sourdough. She's a mom of 4, like join 4 like mom of 4 groups, you know what I mean? There's probably a million of them. Join teenage and baby groups. Like I'm sure there's so many groups that have like I have a teenager and a baby, the age gap is massive, Kalea needs help with that, you know what I mean? And post in these groups. And honestly, some of the things that I post are the most ridiculous. I was just about to say city. I would never join. I have it here in my notes. There are groups that I would never join that you guys probably would join. You would never catch me dead in a downtown Toronto Facebook group because that place ain't for me. I will not go there, okay? You will find me up here in the middle of the bushes hiding from everyone but the deer, okay? Because I am not a city girl whatsoever. It's just not in my blood, and I will not join city groups because I cannot. It's just not my cup of tea, right? But whatever is your cup of tea or is the groups that you're looking for. If you're a book girly, go join book things. If you have an animal, go join the breed of animal that you have. If you're a reptile girl, I am not. Please, if you're a reptile person, I'm sorry, but like Dave and I have the no R rules, like no rodents and no reptiles in our home. Like it's not a thing. It's not happening. No R's in our home, and I will never join those groups. And going back on people, if that's not something that you're into, and if people are constantly showing up in your news feed or constantly showing up on your page and they're posting things that you don't resonate with, how are you supposed to build a relationship with that person? It's okay to remove people that you don't resonate with and that you aren't going to build a connection with because it's 2025. People are buying off of relationships. They're not buying off of something that they have posted on their news feed. Um, Literally. Exactly, Chelsea too. And this is something that I learned from Chelsea and I've stuck with it and it's been the most amazing thing. And now, especially that I've been monetizing, I find that this is where I'm finding most of my people because actually, we'll go over that in a second. Anyways, go through your groups, add yourself to a million groups, and honestly, just post on them. Post the most, like, just go in there every other day, every third day, and just be like, for example, my 2024 baby, um, she popped 3 molars before her lateral teeth. And I thought it was the weirdest thing. I was like, I thought the laterals were supposed to come before the molars. So I jumped into the 2024, October 2024 mom page and I said, hey, did anybody else's baby get their molars before their lateral teeth? And I'm not like, no word of a lie. I think 500 comments were on this thing, people going back and forth of what teeth their kids got and whatever else. And in your monetization back page, you can go in and get all of those people to follow you. Okay. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. But just make sure that you're interacting on those pages. And it can be the most ridiculous things. I literally will post a picture of my dog in the Bernese Mountain Dog page, being like, drop your little cuties today. You know what I mean? Like, people want to be like, this is my dog. Look at my dog. Look at my dog. Meanwhile, I'm like, ha ha ha, I'm going to get you to follow me and love me. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just building those connections, getting yourself out there, and just post the most random things. You'll be surprised with what people, some of the things that I never thought would go viral, go viral. And I'm just like, what, how? Like, why? Um, I know we're all famous for it, and sometimes I still do it, and sometimes I will do it because I really resonate with it. But sharing things, for example, if Kalea were to share a or post a post, and I were to go share her post instead of copy and paste it and post it myself, the algorithm doesn't like that. The algorithm likes original content. It does not like your page if you start sharing things. You're not going to earn any money on shared posts. You're only making money off of original posts. So if there's something that you really, really like and that you're like, oh my gosh, I connect with this, screenshot it, take a picture of it, and post a picture of the post. Don't share the post. Sometimes if I'm really, really like, oh my gosh, okay, yes, like I have to share this if it's like a family in need or something bigger than that, and I need them to have direct access to whatever it is I'm sharing, I'm going to share it. But 9 times out of 10, I do not share things because the algorithm does not like that. And if you're somebody who's constantly sharing other people's things, it downgrades you on the algorithm. Um, I've said it, but I'm going to say it again. Reply to everything. If you say good morning every morning like I do on your news feed, and 50 to 75 people every single morning say good morning to you, you're saying have a good day, have a fantastic day, have a fabulous day 75 times, because you have to reply to every single comment. And that's the thing that's going to be time consuming. And that's why you need the voice to text. That's why you need to schedule your posts, because you really, really need to be interacting and responding to every single comment. If you are sitting there hesitating on what you're posting, don't. Just post it. Honest to God, I feel like the hardest part about monetization and Amare in general is that you sit there and you overthink it. And Amare, especially, you sit here and come up with this beautiful post, and you've got this beautiful picture to go along with it, and you've got all this amazing information about the product or amazing information about whatever, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? How am I going to post this? How am I going to post it? Just post it. Stop thinking about it. Just post it. And it's crazy what you see. That in turn, remember that you create your feed. So if there's things on your feed that you don't like, there's like the hide button, and you can hide it. And when you share multiple things, again, I'm going to say it, I don't like reptiles and rodents. They're not my thing. I don't like them. They're creepy. They're just not for me. I hide them or I remove those followers, and your algorithm will slowly learn that you don't like those things, and it'll stop showing you those things. So really make sure that you're creating your news feed and interacting with the people that you're going to resonate with. I discovered recently the poke button. Anything interaction is amazing. So you're going to go to that friend tab again, and you're going to go up to the pokes, and you're literally just going to be poking people. And this brings people to your page. This gets people on your page. This gets you on their news feed. It seems ridiculous that you're poking people, but we're poking people in 2025. Okay. We're making it a normal thing. Just poke people. Okay. I went to Dave's Christmas party last weekend, 2 weekends ago, and I didn't realize how many of his coworkers I had on social media until they came up to me and were like, poke. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awkward. I realize how many people I poked now. Okay. If all else fails in any of your posts, you have ChatGPT. And we've gone over this a million times. You can ask ChatGPT to create you 10 interaction posts, and you can schedule them out for the next 3-4 days. Super easy, super simple. It is literally the best thing ever. So I'm going to super quickly show you the monetization page. When you flip over to the professional dashboard, you are going to get your weekly goals here. Okay. And your weekly goals, I complete mine literally within the first day or two. Yours are going to be different. So this week I had 50 followers, create 15 posts, whatever else. You're going to make sure that you're doing all of this. Because you're commenting and interacting and getting into groups and posting things and everything else, when you click on that followers that you have goals, this part here is going to have every single post that you've posted in a group or anything else. And you're going to be able to hit invite, of course, because I do this all day, every day. I don't have any right now, but you're going to be able to invite people that interacted with your posts that aren't already following you. And that's how you're going to get more people to your page. Pretty well, that is it. The one thing I do want to end with, and I want to tell you guys somewhat of a success story, somewhat not a success story, and then we can flip it over to Kalea. And I'm sorry I took forever, Kalea. I had a girl, I know her personally, and she messaged me about what we do here at Amare, and I told her, and she said heck no. And I followed up with her like 12 times, and she's like no, no, no. And she was like, I'm not going to block you because I love you and I know you personally, but stop. She's like, I'm not interested. I will never be interested. Online world is not for me. She's like, you need to stop. I was like, okay, I'll stop. So I took her off of my follow-up list. She recently moved down to Florida and she's started a life down there. She had 2 kids and she's doing really well for herself down there. And she discovered that she can get paid on TikTok down there. So she started a TikTok account and she started monetizing her TikTok down in the US. She got accepted, or she got offered a brand deal with a pump company because she's breastfeeding. And they asked her to post 2 times in a month on her Instagram so that they could pay her. And it was a pretty good lump sum of money. And she posted it on Instagram and in turn posted on Facebook. And she immediately got approved for the Facebook monetization program. Again, it doesn't take 30 days. Some people get accepted right away. So she got accepted right away, and the video, the reel that she posted went absolutely viral, and she ended up earning $125 off of that one reel that was posted on Facebook. So she reached out to me and she was like, I need your help. How the heck does this Facebook monetization work? So we jumped on a call and I walked her through absolutely everything that I know about Facebook monetization. Again, building relationships. No word of a lie. I kid you not. I will show you the message. I will send it in our group chat. She messaged me yesterday being like, I'm sorry that I was so harsh and a dick about not wanting to join Amare, but I think I'm interested now. Okay. So build those relationships, give people the tips, show them what they can do on social media, and that it's not just about network marketing, that it's literally a relationship and that you care about these people. I took the time out of my day to show her how to make money on Facebook without joining anything, literally just monetizing a platform. And now she has a completely different trust in me. And now she's considering Amare when she completely shut me down and told me to take her off of my follow-up list. So build those relationships. Anyways, go ahead, Kalea.
That was absolutely incredible. Like, can we just give her all the love in the chat? Because that was like fire Facebook training that a lot of it I had no idea about until I connected with Steph. Like, I didn't know it was a thing. I just totally when I say I was Facebook illiterate, I was genuinely like scared to even go on there. It confused me to no end. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. But I connected my Instagram to my Facebook. I had done that for a while ago. And so as soon as I found out that we as Canadians could earn like monetization, I was like, okay, I'm like, tell me all about this. Cause I want to work smarter, not harder, you guys. And that's kind of the whole idea around this training is we're like, Steph just offered you a whole nother stream of income that you guys can be making, doing what you're already doing right now. So like what I'm going to go into is essentially it's a lot of what she already said with regards to Facebook. But I want to kind of bring very similar aspects of that to Instagram, because I think the block, at least a lot of the conversations that I've been having, the block that a lot of us are having on Instagram is really overthinking what you need to post. And so if you are practicing that on Facebook, because if you are getting the monetization, then you are getting paid regardless. Like you get paid, like she said, you're getting paid on everything and anything you post on Facebook. So getting the practice there, taking the tips that she just showed you, doing that on Facebook, it will train you to not overthink what you're posting on Instagram. As soon as I took her advice and started doing that on Facebook, it's like a flip switched in my brain about how I view Instagram and content creation. It's insane. I genuinely feel like it was just like a boom, light bulb moment. Like, wait a minute, social media is exactly that. I am supposed to be being social. I am supposed to be showing who I am. I'm supposed to be interacting. I'm supposed to be engaging with people. If I want people to do that for me, I have to be doing that for them. So taking her advice, now it's a little different, right? Because there's not groups and stuff on Instagram, but the principle of not overthinking your posts and just posting it anyways will get you out of whatever rut that you're in of like taking 3 hours to come up with one post on Instagram. And I think for someone who is newer to content creation, which was and still technically is me, that's where I was finding myself getting stuck. I was like, what am I going to post? What, like, I was thinking like it had to be these like drastic things. It's gotta be super emotional, or it has to be super entertaining, or it has to be super educational, which is what like all of the gurus tell you to do, which you want your content to be. However, it could be like the tiniest thing. I'm going to call out somebody, Clarissa, you traded in your vehicle and you literally posted that as a reel. Now, in reality, that's not like that. I mean, it is a big deal, obviously, to you. And I love how you brought that out, but it is a small thing. It's just like, oh, you switched cars. Why would that be a reel? Why would you put that into a reel? Just like, but reframing your mind, what did you talk about? You talked about the connection that you had to your old vehicle, the emotions that it was bringing up, the fact that it was like a bittersweet moment, like that's where the connection piece comes in. So that example, it could be something as small as I had a reel pop off of me adding bay leaves to my soup. And this was like totally on the spot. I was making the soup and I went to go get the bay leaves to put it in. And I'm like, what on earth do bay leaves even do? Like, I really don't know, but I'm always going to add them. If the recipe calls for it, I'm adding it. And I was like, you know what? I feel like that's really funny and people will relate to that. I bet I'm not the only one to think that. And so I just propped my camera up and I took a video of me putting the bay leaves in. That was it. And then said a little like funny thing about me, like thinking, you know, like me every time I put the bay leaves in, I forget what the hook was, but it was so silly and small and seemingly insignificant. And that's the point that I really want to make, is sometimes what seems simple and like a nothing thing to you could be a connection piece to so many other people. Because like we all have relatable things that we think, feel, love, don't love. Like that's kind of where you're going to show who you actually are on social media. And that's another point that I want to bring out, is a big thing that goes along with like not overthinking, but post what you would want to watch. Show who you are in your posts. Like you are building a brand. So instead of trying to find trends, which I'm not saying trends are like, don't do trends, because we love a good trend here. But I'm saying like, put your spin on it, put your little sauce on it, put whatever kind of little flavor that you have that makes you unique. That's what people really connect with. Since I have been doing that, sharing little random things or something that pops into my head, a big note actually that I want to make is, oops, just lost my notes here. Lately, the shift I have made is what I used to post in stories, I now take and I make a reel about it. Cause I was like I was in my stories. Like I'm a stories girl. I love interacting in my stories. I love getting on and chatting, random thoughts, doing a little like long chat. And that's great. But I'm like, hold on a second. Why am I not making this into content, forever content, evergreen content, something that can be reshared, that people can watch, that people who may not follow me in stories, now the algorithm is pushing it out to brand new people who don't follow me. And they're like, ooh, I like that, what she said about the bay leaf. That's hilarious. That me too. I didn't even know what bay leaves did. You know, like something that I probably would have just shared that in my stories. And I turned it into an actual piece of content. And now it's there for people to see, for people to share, for people to follow, to attract people to my brand, who I am. So that's like that little switch of what you would probably share in stories. If it's worthy enough for you to share it in your stories, for you to take your camera and start to film it, then it is worthy enough to be a post on Instagram, whether that's a carousel post, whether that's a reel. Like that's kind of where we need to make that shift and understand, post it. Exactly what Steph said, like just post it. Think of it as a piece of you that you are offering to your audience. It's a piece or a part of you that you're showing and sharing to the world. So don't think it doesn't have to be a monumental thing that deserves to be a reel. It can literally be anything. Part of the thing about posting reels is I think I shared it in the group chat and I shared it on my live. If you haven't watched my live in the Happy Collective, please go and watch it because it really was the turning point to how I made this little shift in my content. And I have been growing and attracting and feeling so much more like myself online than I ever have, which is resonating with people because I am having the most engagement and the most growth ever. And now, mind you, I'm 3 years in, okay? So let's just keep that in mind as well. I really don't want you, like Steph said, don't get discouraged because it's your day one of doing this shift. And you're like a week in, you're like, man, my views are still low. Or like, guys, it really does take time. And that's something that you are just gonna have to internally figure out and shift your mind on, is that it's going to take some time. But if you stick to it and continue, one, I actually am pumping out more content than I ever have, but it's fun. I'm having way more fun than I ever have because I am not overthinking it. I am truly just being like, what do I enjoy? What do I love? What do I find funny? What do I want to see? What entertains me? What little tip did I just learn that I would love to share with somebody? Boom, that's a reel. I just filmed it tonight. I have done this a million times. And again, I shared it in my stories. I was peeling carrots and I have this carrot peeler, like veggie peeler. And I found out that you can peel back and forth. Silly, right? Like so silly. But when I learned this, I was like, whoa, game changer. I'm peeling carrots like nobody's business. I was like, I should film that because it'd be like interesting for people to know. And maybe somebody doesn't know that they can use their peeler like that. Like, do you guys kind of get where I'm going with this? Like what deserves to be content has to shift in your mind to something that is showing who you are. It doesn't have to be a gigantic transformation, which we do still love transformations. Like, hear me when I say this, don't just completely abandon talking about Amare, talking about the products, talking about the business. You can do that in a very intentional way that still shows your personality, still shows who you are. Like, I don't know who posted this, but it was actually, I'm calling out Clarissa again, because yours have been, you've been doing really good, girl. So I'm going to shout you out. But it was, I think it was something about you were going to pick up your daughter from school. It was like, I forget what your hook was. It was like, because you said yes, this is like what you were, something like that. It was a business post. Like, she's talking about like indirectly talking about the business opportunity. So saying yes to this business now allows her to pick up her daughter from kindergarten, right? So you can still, and she literally, that was it. That was the post, right? So it doesn't have to be, I'm trying to get across to you guys that it does not have to be monumental things that you share in a reel in order for them to be post worthy. Get that out of your mind. I know gurus say certain things, but I think a lot of us have like gotten stuck on what social media managers and this and that, what these people have to say, that we're kind of holding a little too closely to that, and it's getting people stuck. Or you're showing up not really as who you are. You're just following what somebody says you should be posting. And guys, it comes across. Like, as much as we don't think it does, people can feel that. They can feel the performance that you are doing. And if you start performing less and just sharing exactly who you are, I promise you, one, you will feel a lot more confident in your content creation and how you show up online. But two, other people will feel and see it too. And you will start attracting more of your people, right? So each of us, something about us makes us unique, makes us who we are. Who follows Michaela is not going to resonate with me and follow me. Whoever follows Shannon may not, like, we each have our own individuality and something that makes us special. So lean into that. Like, don't try and copy or perform. Show people who you think they want to see and show them who you actually are. Because I'm telling you, it's going to come across so much more authentic when you start doing that. Not just in your stories, because I know a lot of people do that in their stories, but do that in reels as well. That's where the missing piece can be. Maybe you're not seeing the growth, you're kind of stagnant, you're not getting as much engagement. It could just be that you are somebody different in your stories than you are in your reels. And that's the disconnect. People they're not seeing who you are in your actual reels. And so it's not bringing in new eyes, because people are kind of like, I don't want to say vanilla, because I know a lot of people say that. And I am like, you guys know from my content, I am not one to post super controversial things. That's just not my brand. That's not who I am. To each their own. Some people love that, and it really does spark lots of engagement. That's just not me, but I still am me, right? So it doesn't, like, you don't have to be bashing things, and you don't have to be doing all of that in order to show who you are. But like, who are you in your stories? How do you talk in your stories? How do you show up? What do you share? Do that in a reel. Post that in reels, because you're going to be bringing fresh eyes. Another huge note that I want to say is that people are wanting connection. They really are craving connection here on Instagram. Same on Facebook as well. So they want to connect with people who they can actually relate to, right? And so that goes to, again, showing who you actually are in not just your stories, but also in your reels, to really build your brand around your people. Because you don't want to attract, it's Steph, you brought it out, but you don't want to attract people who you're performing for. And then down the road, it's like, it's exhausting. It actually is exhausting, putting on a show for people and showing a part of you that isn't really you. And then that's when the burnout comes, when you start to resent having to post something, like, oh, I have to post something today, or I have to show up online today, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. Like, that's when it comes. It's because you're doing this performance, and that is exhausting. So just be who you are. Show, like, your background doesn't have to be perfectly clean. You don't have to have your makeup done every single time, your hair done. Like, show the parts of you that you would to an actual friend in real life, and start building those connections. Hold on, I just have I have some notes to keep me on track. I think, Steph, you talked about this, but switching your thought process with content creation from like impressing or performing to actually serving people. So like I said, a little, like, if you have a tip, something that you learned, like, maybe that's not your brand is tips and tricks, but it is a part of you, right? If it's something small that you found out, or I would encourage you guys to share those things, because they help to give people like a feeling, like a Me Too moment, right? So whether you do that in like, in a quote or something, like something random that you say and you put that on as just like a post, or turn that into a reel. And it doesn't have to be like you doing the thing in the reel. It could just be B-roll, and then you put some words over it, right? But just thinking like, how would this help somebody today? Or would this make somebody laugh? Or does this make someone feel like less alone, or something like that? Like, having those connection pieces in your content, because it comes, like, the value that we offer isn't always in education, or it isn't always in a transformation. Sometimes it just comes with like some honesty that you have, or sometimes it comes with humor. Sometimes that comes with warmth, relatability. Like, there's so many different ways that you can do that without showing different facets of who you actually are. I think I touched on this already, but don't copy and paste what you see, because you are not going to be showing up as yourself, and you're not going to be attracting your people. So the brand is you. So share parts of that, like share your uniqueness, your quirks, your humor, whatever it is that makes you you. Start sharing parts of that. Sorry, I'm just going through. Yeah, okay, touch on that. I feel like that's it. I kind of, like, some of it was double said, with Steph already really touched on that. But that's kind of the key. It's been a really, really big shift in how I feel about content creation, and like showing up in a different way online that I just want for everyone else. Oh, edits. Okay, yes, thank you, Chelsea. Edits. Okay, here's the thing. Edits, if you are not already using edits, please start using it. It took me a hot minute to like get on the train with edits, but I'm telling you, as soon as you figure it out, one, it is so much easier to create your reels in there. And what I will suggest to you guys is just film on your main camera. Just film it as like a video and then plug it into edits. I learned this from Chelsea. I don't know if she's still on the call. But she films her stories. She does this with her stories. And I was like, ooh, this is genius. But film whatever talking head reel that you want to do. Just film it in your camera, bring it over to edits, and then click cut silences. And it will like compress that thing down. It'll take out all the little ums and the little weird little like pausing moments that you have in your talking. It'll just cut it down to like only the meat of what you want. And it is so good. Yeah, no, it is so good. So do that, because sometimes, you know, when we're talking on stories, you kind of like fumble your words, or you lose your train of thought, and it really drags it out. And like people's attention span, you guys, people's attention span are 0 right now. So film it in your camera. One, the quality of the film, like the video, is going to be better. I use cinematic. I try to use my front camera as much as I possibly can. I get in front of a window, and it's like, I've had, yes, what do you need? You want to go, Nana? Okay, go tell Papa. Doing those things, I've noticed just the qualities of my videos are better, and I'm getting, it just looks more professional, you guys. So get in front of a window, some sort of light, film with your back camera, film in cinematic,
and clean your camera lens.
I'm so sorry. You want to say
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. If you want to go deal, you can go deal. It's okay.
Yeah. Let me.
Okay. So one last thing that I did want to touch on before we open it up for questions is I want you guys to realize that it's social media here. Your block button is your best friend. Who gives a heck what people think? Who gives a heck what people have to say? If they don't agree with you, if you don't like what they're saying, if you don't like the way that they're showing up on your page, and if you remove them as a friend and they still come and find you, because there's those crazy people that do, utilize that block button. It's not somebody that you're going to run into tomorrow. It's not somebody that, you know, you're creating your environment here on social media, and you're allowed to close the door to people. You're allowed to close your business to people that don't resonate with you and that belittle you and bully you and make you feel a certain way, that aren't going to allow you to show up to be yourself. You're allowed to remove them off of your social media. You're allowed to close the doors. I know there's a million questions. I was kind of going through the chat while Kalea was talking. If you still have the questions that you asked while Kalea and I were talking and we didn't touch on your questions, re-drop them in the chat and we can quickly answer a few. I don't want to keep you guys here forever. I feel like I took forever to go through my portion. But again, Kalea's inbox is open. My inbox is open. If you have a personalized question about your own Facebook and the monetization aspect of everything, please don't be shy. Get in my inbox and ask me. I'm more than happy to even jump on a call and share. I don't know if you guys know, but iPhones specifically, you can share your screen while you're on FaceTime with people, and I can literally walk through it with you and help you. But yes, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat and we'll answer a few.
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna come back because I really want to reiterate what Steph said about scheduling posts. That has changed my actual life. Guys, my screen time is way down since I started scheduling posts. Please, if you are not scheduling posts, start doing it right now. At least one post a day, have it scheduled out. But for me, I've been doing like 2 to 3 reels a day. Those are all scheduled. And I know someone asked about, is Meta, like, do they favor scheduled posts, or do they not like it? No, I have actually seen more growth with scheduling out posts than I have like ever. So it doesn't change. Like the posts that I do on the fly in Instagram, or sometimes I'll find an audio or something in Instagram and I'll do it in Instagram. It's the same. It doesn't change when I have the post either scheduled or when I post it in real time. But scheduling posts will save your life. Because it's true. Sometimes we have ideas that come to us. We got like 5 ideas. And you're like, I don't want to post all 5 right now. That's crazy. I mean, you can if you want, do what you want. But realistically, you want to find a rhythm and a system and a schedule that works for you. Schedule the posts out. If you film 3 things, schedule them for the next 3 days.
I say good morning every single morning on my Facebook. Sometimes I say good morning, say it back. I'm not going to bite you, but I have my good morning posts every day at 6:30. I think I have them scheduled up to like February now. I know every single morning, 7 days a week at 6:30, it is my very first post, and I have scheduled it out all the way out to February. And when I get another 5 minutes of absolutely nothing and doom scrolling or whatever, I'm going to be posting more good mornings so that it's always just there. So I already have content that's planned out for February and we're in November. So, you know what I mean? It's so much easier to schedule these posts, and Meta doesn't penalize you for using it. They want you to use it.
Oh yeah, I've actually noticed I have seen more growth using scheduling edits. Yeah, go tell Papa. Scheduling a post and using edits than I have like ever. So schedule it out. And yeah, I would do a week out, like sit down. So here's the thing, like work smarter, not harder. So we want to be efficient with our time and then spend less time doing the like annoying, not business building, brand building stuff on Instagram, right? You know what I'm talking about. There's things that you do that you kind of have to do when you're not organized and you're scrambling to do it. And then you're wasting so much time. I want you guys spending less time on your phone, more time checking in with your customers, checking in with potentials, building those connections with people, and less time on your actual posting and content creation. So by scheduling your posts, so sit down for maybe 30 minutes. And like 30 minutes is a lot of time, but like, okay, 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what your schedule looks like. And whenever that works for you, maybe you got to wake up 30 minutes earlier and do it before if you have a full-time job. Or maybe it's on your lunch break, 15 minutes. I'm going to just sit down and I'm going to like knock out a couple of things. Make your posts in edits. I will encourage you to do them in edits. Bring them over to Instagram. I post one as a trial reel always. Every single post I do as a trial reel. Every single post. I don't gatekeep. I don't pick and choose. Every single post I do as a trial reel, and then I post to my main feed and I schedule them out. I usually do 2 a day, if not 3. But I know when I schedule those that if something comes up, right? Because life is lifing right now for a lot of people. If you are having a really hard time, you don't want to be on social media, whatever, something comes up, you know for a fact that you have stuff planned and you do not have to worry about it. It makes it so much easier. I scramble less. I'm on the app less. I'm actually talking with people more, which sounds weird. Like, how is that possible? But it's because I'm spending less time on the app trying to figure out what I want to post, and I'm just post it anyways. I'm not overthinking it, and I'm scheduling it out. Like those, if you take nothing else away from what you hear tonight, it's like just post the dang post. Take it out of your drafts and post it, schedule it out, and then release the feeling from the results, because that is out of your control.
And if you do get negative feedback from it, block. Who cares what people think? Honestly, strangers are more positive than they are negative, but when you do get those haters, block them, because who gives a crap about them? You know what I mean? Like, obviously they aren't your people and they aren't meant to be on your page anyway, so just block them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start answering.
Yeah, I see some here.
Those stories, do you know much about that? Okay, so the app, I think Shannon just shared it in the chat.
Well, I've asked Shannon. She knows a lot. I'm like, I don't know about that
either. Can I unmute for a sec? So it's Meta certified, which is something that you want to look for if you're doing like other party apps, and you can do things like add captions, which are really important because people don't always have volume up. I'm a volume up girl. I want to hear your voices. Like I'm like getting a snack and I'm tuning in. But some people are on the go, so I think that that's really important. And yeah, it's been really, really helpful, especially this time of year.
Okay. What are your thoughts, tips on the captions?
Like, you mean captions of your reels?
I do like hooks and then captions, and my captions are just like an expansion on what the hook was. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, I use ChatGPT.
Yeah, I would, guys, lean into ChatGPT. I know everybody has what they want to say about AI. What I will say is I talk to Chat. Bill laughs at me the way I talk to Chat. First of all, I voice your voice to text. I voice ChatGPT. I do
I
not
do
type.
too.
Don't waste your time typing. I'm serious. I literally talk to it like I'm talking to you guys right here. I'm like, hey, so this is my idea. I want to talk about blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how I talk to Chat. I just fit it in there. One, it's just learning who you are and how you speak. And so it can actually capture your tone a lot better when you talk to it
Yes.
with instead of typing. So that's just training it to speak a little more like you. And then like put your own flavor on it, because I know it still spits out like super robotic. And I'll literally be like, ew, I don't like that. Like, I'll say it to Chat just like that. So yes, use ChatGPT for your captions. I do mix up shorter captions with like TikTok style captions. And I've been doing that lately. And I find sometimes it hits a little better than a really long. Obviously, if it's an emotional post, I'm going to like pour my heart out.
Yeah.
However, when you're doing these one-offs, these ones that you know that I'm telling you to share, something you'd share in your stories that you share on a reel, like sometimes it doesn't, like you don't have to do a long caption. Also, it doesn't have to have a call to action either. It could be like, save this if you know it hits with you, or share this to your stories if you find it funny, or send this to a friend. Like, you switching up your call to actions that are not just send me this, like it's not just like a keyword type of thing. It can be save, it can be shares, it can be sending it to a friend. Like, mix up what you say, because I think it helps. It helps with interaction, it helps with connection with people, which is the key, right? Like, we're trying to build these connections.
Yes.
I think that's it, guys. I feel like we should
where do I find the goals on the professional dashboard?
Yes, please share that.
Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and rub it in y'all's face, but look, I just opened up the professional dashboard, and in November alone, I'm already up to $196.17.
Yeah.
Monetizing Facebook, okay? And monetizing Facebook is paid out in US. So I'm already up to like $250 Canadian, and all I am doing is the exact same things I was doing with Amare. Okay, so you're going to open up your professional dashboard, and right on the very first page, there is your name and this little bar. You're going to click on it, and all of your goals are going to be here. So this week I had like get 50 new followers, whatever else. And as you check them off, you're just going to get check, 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 right? So as long as you're staying on top of these, and I mean, you can change up your goal too. So it's like, this week I want to focus on, I always have reach more people, but you can change it to, I want to maximize my earnings. I want to get a quick start on Facebook. I just want to reach people, right? That's all I want to do. And I do want to maximize my earnings, but when I'm reaching more people, I am maximizing my earnings. And clearly with a $200 US check, I'm doing that, right? So these are all potentials, things that you can have. You just have to stay consistent. I just said to Chelsea, I'm going to do a week out. Yes, exactly. Work smarter, not harder. Schedule everything, absolutely everything. It took me a long time to get used to this. My very first couple of monetization paychecks were like $25, $30, $40. Okay. It has taken me a long time to build to $200 and really understand the monetization aspect of it. And follow me. Go follow me and repost, copy and repost what I am sharing. Like, don't be shy to take my stuff and run with it. That is exactly what content creating is. And sometimes if it works for you and it resonates with you, like half of the things that I take are things that I find on TikTok and I'm like, damn, I resonate with that, and I go post it on Facebook. Something about scheduling. Oh, yes, US is monetized as well. It's just a lot of monetization programs cannot be done in Canada, but I am here to tell you that this can be done in Canada. I am in Ontario and I get paid from Facebook. And I have many, many receipts in my bank account if you want to see them all. Yeah. Like a caption that performed well and ask yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think that's pretty well all of the questions in the chat. So I think we can end there.
And then, thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, please don't be shy. I probably will be asleep and dead in my bed in the next 5 minutes, but I will answer you tomorrow, I promise.
Oh, I guess